Welcome to 100 Voices, 100 Stories. I'm your host, Cece. Every person has a story, and it all begins with you. Let's meet today's guest.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Cece with Where It Begins and Cece in the City. I have a special guest on the line with me today. I'm gonna let him introduce himself of who he is and what he does.
Mm. I am Rodney Perry. I'm a professional comedian, actor, and producer and director, all that good stuff.
Awesome. How did you get into being a comedian? Who motivated you?
Who motivated me to become a comedian? Let's see. It probably started at home. My parents, they would throw little get-togethers. They would throw like adult parties, and they would listen to these party records, which was a big thing back in the day. And I just remember whoever that was on that record, I wanted to be that person. And I just thought it was amazing. And then a little later on, I see Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live, and then he became my inspiration. And it will be many years later before I found it as a career, though.
Okay. Well, who is Rodney Perry when the cameras are off?
Who is Rodney Perry with the cameras? I'm a father. I'm a I'm very competitive. I love games. Uh, I'm fun. Uh, I'm a debater to a fault, and
Ooh.
I'm a child of God.
Amen to that. Amen. How do you handle so many hats? Because you're a comedian, an actor, a host. How do you handle all that?
I mean, it's all kind of related, I'm a stand up first, and everything else I do, it came about from comedy, if that make any sense. You become a stand up and then you start hosting, and then you become a stand up and you start to realize that all the people that are really working was also actors. So you start acting, and you from acting that opens the door to producing, and that opens the door to directing. It's all that stuff. All that stuff happens. It's all connected if it makes any sense.
Yes, it does. It does. If your life was a comedian special right now, what would that title be?
Wow, that's a great question. What would the title of my special be right now? Divorced.
Divorce?
Yeah,
Okay. So why would that be the title?
because I'm 6 weeks divorced, and it'll probably be a little more involved in that divorce and still living together. It'll probably be the name of it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
And no apologies. I mean, life goes on.
I know. But still prayers, you know how that is, especially, going through tough times. But every person has a story. What's one chapter of your story that changed your life forever?
I'm a stroke survivor, so that chapter definitely changed my life. You know how you approach life, health, and everything else. So, the part of my life when I was going through the whole stroke thing, it would have forever changed me.
And prayers to you.
Oh, for sure.
Prayers. But we try to stay on the positive side. What's one quote I ask all the interviewers this? What's one quote that you live by right now?
Uh, don't quit. The only way you lose is if you give up or you quit. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she was like, Rodney, I've been at this 30 years. I want to give up. And I was like, if you give up, that's your last day. You take away your chance if you give up. So
Mhm.
you got to keep going.
That's right. You got to keep going. But you love comedy, you love acting, you love being a host. But what is your home to? Like, which one is your favorite out of
But that's easy. It's stand up comedy. I,
all?
I'm most at home doing it, and I feel better when I'm doing it. Like if I do stand up, like if I'm not feeling well and I do stand up, I just feel better that day.
Oh,
But
okay.
it kind of helps me with my physicality as well. If that makes any sense.
Well, going back, do you remember the first time you was on stage and how did that
Oh my goodness, no, I don't remember the first time I was on stage. I mean. I imagine if it was too bad, I probably would have quit. But no, it must have been okay. I remember the early days, but I remember the very first time. No, no, I don't have it recorded in my 30-year career memory banks.
I got you. You know, usually the first time is your special moment. Even if you did bad, like you said, keep
I mean,
going. Don't give up.
I don't know if the very first time was noteworthy to me, and I've thought about this before, so it's a great question. I just don't know if my very first time was something I recorded.
Gotcha. I got you. But if you had to roast one person, one of your friends, but in a good way, all for fun, who would that person be, and why did you choose them?
Oh, Kevin Hart, man. I was watching him on Instagram the other day, and you know how they had these little kids do interviews, and little kids say, who's your motivation? And he basically said that he was his own motivation. I was like, dude, what type of BS was that? You did he just say he was his own motivation? Wow, that's crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah, but he's a great guy, and he would be noteworthy to be a motivator, even if he was the motivation for himself. It's okay.
Yes, I love Kevin Hart. But I know you've been into comedy for over 30 years. But I have to ask this. What's your most embarrassing moment on stage?
Most embarrassing. Okay, I'm on stage, Sacramento, California, and my stomach is bubbling some awful, and
Oh, Lord.
my feature act, who was my brother at the time, I was like, Ryan, you got to come back up here. He said, what's wrong? I said, you got to come back here right now. He said, what's wrong? I said, man, I got a boo boo, and I left the stage. He came back up, and I proceeded to use the bathroom for the next 9 to 10 minutes.
Oh, oh, wow, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That is crazy.
Some had upset my stomach for sure.
Gotcha. But what keeps you grounded in this industry? I mean, it's constantly changing, to keep yourself trending.
I mean, I don't know if I am grounded. I don't know if that's fair to say, but I think the way you can remain relevant is to constantly be willing to change.
Hmm.
And so say for instance, when I was coming up, we was just trying to get on TV or film, right? And now you can kind of become famous from your phone. And so
Hmm.
the act of comedy hasn't changed, but how people get famous has. If that make any sense. And you just gotta be, you can't be rigid. You gotta be like Bruce Lee say, be like water.
Oh, but I know in the industry of comedy, have you ever been booed off? And if so, like, how did you handle that?
People love boo stories. Of course I've been booed. Now I know people that swear they ain't never been booed, but just because you got off stage before they start booing don't mean you didn't get booed. You know. And it's kind of the act of booing itself, that's a whole room of people deciding they don't like you at once. It's a lot.
Hmm.
And I've definitely been there before. Chocolate Sundays many years ago. I had just made my exit from the military, and I was on that stage, and it wasn't going great. And this guy stands up. He stood up and booed me. He stood on his feet and be like, "Boo!" It was a room full of black people, and the only white person booed me.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, it was crazy. And Guy Tori, who was the host that night, he came out. He came back out. He was like, "You're right, man. This ain't your night." And I walked behind the sheer curtain, and I was just like, "This is not why I'm here." But then he opened the curtain and was like, "Yo, you want to try it again?" And I said, "Yeah, man." I went back out and I did it again. I got a little bit of redemption, so I went from boo to not boo. I didn't kill or nothing, but I didn't boo. I didn't get booed the second time.
Okay. Did you go back and did you roast the person that booed you?
No, that's the last thing you want to do because see, a boo is like a wildfire. You try to lash out at people and do this, that, but then you can't. It happens so fast and spreads so quickly. It's like a fire, and
Hmm.
and so you try to roast somebody if you want to, but the whole audience is turning against you in a heartbeat.
Oh, wow. I know I was in a went to a comedy show here in Atlanta. I'm in the Atlanta area, and Wanda Sykes just went straight at us. I was like, "Oh Lord, it
Yeah, yeah.
is
Most
not
comedians
good."
have it. You develop techniques to kind of thwart off the boo, though. But I mean, Wanda Sykes probably ain't been booed in 25 years.
Right.
Just because of the way she tell jokes.
Right. I just sat there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be quiet. She was like, where are you from? And I was like, DC. And she was like, hold on, I'm gonna have to get the guns for you now. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
But it was real fun. I love it. I love comedians. Is there a role or opportunity you haven't done yet that's still on your bucket list?
I mean, as an actor, you always kind of want to play real people if you could. And in the '70s, there was a guy named George Kirby. He was an impressionist, and he's got a pretty remarkable story. He was a comedian. He was trouble man. He got into drugs. He got into trafficking drugs and a number of other things. And I think his story would be perfect for a guy like me.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna manifest that. What about a book?
I am an author. I wrote a book called Rodney Perry Moments on My Journey. It is currently on Amazon. And, after I told you I had a stroke, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
almost a decade ago. So when I got back home, I wanted to tell my kids my story if they ever wanted to just read it and figure out what I was thinking. And so I wrote this book. It's a small book, easy read, 120 pages or so. And it's all these different moments in my life. It's everything from starting comedy, growing up, my mom, losing my mom, you know, different moments in my life, meeting my stepdad, and where my mind was at those moments. And my children, I talk about my kids in there, each one of them, mentors I've had in comedy. It really covers a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go check out that book. I didn't see it on there. I'm gonna go on Amazon as soon as we get off and see if I could get that. Because I'm
Yeah.
a bookworm. I read about 2 books every week, so
Uh,
I love to
mine,
support.
mine, mine gonna be a speed bump in your book reading, man, because it's easy read.
Well, yeah, but still, I'll go and support it and check it out, and then let you know what I think about it. I love it.
Oh, I love the feedback. Love the feedback.
Yeah. But where do you see what's next for you? I mean, you've been in comedy for over 30 years, acting, hosting, but what's next? You ready to retire? What's next for
No,
you?
no, no, I'm probably never retire. But uh I think what's next for me, well, what I enjoy, I still like performing and doing stand up. So I met a guy last night. He's like, "Hey man, when you gonna do something big? Your Netflix or something?" And I was like, "You know what? You act like I haven't been working for the last 30 years, nonstop." But I get it sometimes out of sight, out of mind for people. And so,
Mhm.
I'll continue to do stand up, and I will also be directing. As I directed a feature film last year, and that's coming out in the next couple of months.
Oh, okay. Can we
So,
talk about that film or no?
sure, it's called Deceitful Lies. It's a thriller too. It's not a stand up. It's not a comedy movie, and I really enjoyed directing as much as I enjoy stand up. Actually,
Okay, all right. Do can you talk about more of the characters or who's gonna be in it?
I really can't discuss that right this second.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, they had the raps on that. Yeah.
Got you. So we just have to wait until it comes out so we can see it. And that'll be just something different for you, right? Thriller?
Oh, oh, for sure. And I've been teaching improv workshops for a number of years, so it's kind of an extension of that, just helping actors find their way. And so it was. I really enjoyed it, and I had no idea I would enjoy it as much as I did because it's a lot of work.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Definitely that. So what do you have coming up now?
I'm always touring. I got a play here in Atlanta later is it this month or next month? I got a play later this month. I got that same play in September in Shreveport, Louisiana. We got Atlanta and Shreveport, and and then of course, I'm always picking up dates on my tour schedule. So I mean, I'm easy to find. It's Rodney Perry live on all social media.
Gotcha, gotcha. So I do this with all my interviewers. So the interviewer before you asks a question, they don't know who you are or anything like that. They just give me a basic question, and then you'll give me a question for the next interviewer. So the
Well,
question that they gave was, "What do you do when you fail?"
to try not to shit.
I know, but when you have a disappointment moment, I'm thinking, and you just fail
I
at
mean,
something. What is it something that you do?
to be honest, you can't allow failure to paralyze you. You got to stay kinetic and keep moving. So when you fail, keep going. I mean, we talked earlier about quitting it. You can't
Hmm.
allow failure to make you quit. Because failure is a part of the journey.
That's right.
It's an absolute part of the journey. So you gotta be willing to fail as much as you're willing to succeed.
Amen to it. I love that you're giving the positivity to us. Now, because this is 100 voices, 100 stories, I want you to complete this sentence. Your voice matters because
Your voice matters because it's the only voice you can hear in your own head.
that's right. I love it. So, is there anything you want to tell the audience right now? Anything you want to give it to us?
To anybody that would listen to this, notice that you are enough. You're
Mhm.
enough. You're absolutely, you got everything you need. You got all the tools. You got all the stuff you need to be great. So just be it.
Amen to that. You are enough. And one more question. Who's your top three comedians right now?
Man, I love JB Smooth. I
Ooh,
love Tony Roberts.
okay.
I mean, and I really like Dave Chappelle. I think he's maybe just super smart. And honorable mention to my friend, Mr. Ali Sadiq.
Okay. All right. I'm surprised you don't even put yourself in there.
I'm dope. I'm dope. I'm
Yeah.
actually top two in the world right now. But that's kind of arrogant to list yourself in the top three.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, I want to say thanks for interviewing with me today, getting to know a little bit about your story, and look forward to the film. And I am going to get that book on Amazon. Can I get a signed copy or how?
Well, I don't get to sell them online, but I'll I got some. I sure got some around here. We can figure it out. I'm in Atlanta as well.
Okay, good. Okay. So I definitely want to get a signed copy if I can. I'll reach out to you to get that.
Also, before I forget, um, can you give us a question for the next interviewer?
Here's a question. What's the best thing about you?
Thank you so much for interviewing with us today. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us for another episode of 100 Voices, 100 Stories. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, every person has a story, and it all begins with you. I'm Cece, and I'll see you next time.